Bulimia nervosa, a serious eating disorder. You eat large amounts of food with a loss of control over the eating, and then purge, trying to get rid of the extra calories in an unhealthy way. I don't try to get rid of it, it just happens automatically where my body starts to get rid of it. Sometimes by throwing up. I can't drink alcohol. So it's almost like the purge is done automatically by my systematic being, my nervous system or whatever. So that's another sort of your eating disorder. Some people choose to do the purge. Some people, their body automatically is choosing to do their purge. Like I didn't conscientiously make the decision with my conscious mind, but my body was like, "This is your nervous system, and I'm making the conscious decision for my human body to just start purging," and it does it. And then you start puking, or else you'll die because the system will have a system failure. So that's So what happens with me is that my system goes into an overload, and then yeah, and I've almost died from overeating many times in my life. Same with over drinking, and it's not cool. It's an addiction. I'm super duper hungry. You're super duper hungry, and you want to eat, 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 eat. Especially at certain, it happens usually when you're not. When you become super hungry, you're usually on a good diet, routine diet every day. For instance, say you lose your say like for instance you're not making good money and you have a routine diet and then you can't afford food for a week or two, and you're starving for a week or two. You're starving for a week or two, whatever. Even a couple days you starve, or a day you starve, or maybe a couple hours or whatever. You get off the routine, you start getting hungry, hungry. Well, then you're gonna eat like a pig, and then what do you know? Now you're in a bulimic rotation, is what happens to me. And then it seems like, and then you get stuffed by that meal. Then you're full for a certain, and then your stomach's put off for a certain amount of time. Next thing you know, you're hungry like that again, and you do another bulimic rotation and whatnot. It's a habit. It's a yeah, and then you can break that habit eventually, and that's when you get back on a routine diet. And then you try to stay on that routine diet for as long as you can, but then inevitably sometimes you get hit with your eating disorder again. Mine's weight gain. Mine is like constant weight loss and then weight gain, weight loss and then weight gain. I gain all the way up to being like a gigantic pig. I can't even move. Um, I can't see my penis, nothing. And then I just drop down to where I can see my penis again. I'm really healthy, making things happen, doing athletic. I'm being athletic. Can't believe it. I can see my penis, everything like that. Boom. Then I get hungry again. Boom. I'm gaining weight. Yeah, it's a bad scale. And at the top end of my scale is horrible. And the bottom end of my scale when I'm at my lower weight is not it's not anything it's not that great either. I want it to be way lower. But guess what? Once I start going lower, something's off. It doesn't feel right. I got such bad gynecomastia. Once I start losing weight off my stomach, it looks like weird. I got all this weight on top of my chest, and then it's weird, and my stomach feels like it has a lot of stuff in it, more than just fat. I don't know, but sometimes the more you eat, the more you feel better. It cleans your system out. Sometimes it feels like. Um, you feel better with the different things that you eat. It puts you in a certain mood. It gives you a certain feeling inside your mind and your soul and your body. And at certain times, you crave certain things. And if you can, if you, back when I was younger, I used to crave certain things. We couldn't afford it. So I'd have to eat other things. But I don't know. My belief was that if you can tackle exactly all the cravings that you want, that would be efficient. Like if I'm craving an orange and I can eat an orange, generally that's how it is nowadays with a lot of people. They're having exactly what they want at whatever time they want it. When I was a kid, that was just a dream. Now I'm almost at that dream. If I want an orange, I can have an orange. If I want an apple, I can have an apple. If I want a steak, I can cook a steak that night. If I want spaghetti that night, I can have spaghetti that night. If I want pork chop, I want pork chop. You know, but a lot of people at the same time they're eating like that, but they don't have the cool physical things that they want, and that's a big thing. So you have to regulate your diet to be able to afford things that you want, and then you can go back to eating everything that you've ever wanted again. Some people will just always just eat everything they ever wanted. They won't be able to afford those cool physical things because they ate everything they ever wanted. I realized that when I was a kid, my mom always had to have steak in the fridge, and they always had to have steak, potato, vegetables every night, and all that. But no, I was willing to take the sacrifice. I sacrificed a lot to be able to have the other cool things that I want. And I got screwed over a lot by those people that never sacrificed much before, but then I caught on to their gimmicks. That they were trying to steal the things that I sacrificed so much for, like maybe some physical things. For instance, say my Cadillac Escalade that I sacrificed so much for over the years to be able to obtain. That's one of the biggest things that I've lost. But once you've lost things like that, then you realize they caught me just after I had made a sacrifice and maybe I was resting. And then you realize that much and you're like, okay. Then you learn more about protecting. And I learned a lot about protection and protecting, and it's a lot different than you think and a lot more serious. You think it's not going to really happen. You think you just have it just in case. No, no. It really happen at any moment. You better be ready for some protecting. You don't, yeah, it's not like you thought it was like, oh, I have it and it's over there and all that and the gun thing all locked up or whatever, but nobody's ever going to da da da. So I don't even care. It's like, what? No, don't be like that. It better be damn ready. You better have it in your mind at all times just in case somebody does it or something like that because it's that serious. Look, they hit you right off guard. You learn a lot about that. How serious life is. I mean, look at this little delicate tree. Was always the big thing with life that really surprised me is how we have all this delicacy in the world, but it's so easy to crush it. But no, it just sits there all delicate, and nobody generally touches it 98% of the time. Then we got that 2% of the time somebody's going to go over and step on it, and generally we have a procedure of taking care of those ones, but it always just really it just really calmed me down and just made me so proud of my fellow human beings when you see things like that. Like, I'm always nervous about my motorcycle being touched out there all locked up or whatever. Because I know how the world can get and whatnot. But generally, it makes me happy to know nobody's really even touching it. People go on by, they give it a smile, and they're proud of it, and da da da. It's not, and they keep going. They have their own lives, their own priorities, their own vehicles, their own things to be proud of and have. That's how I grew up. Everybody had their own thing. Everybody in the community had their own job, their own name. It just wasn't around if you didn't have a name like that, you know? Or if you were one that was killing our community and things like that, like I came across on one or two occasions, you were taken care of real quick, especially if you weren't from here and you were from a different country. And then you come into Canada and you're doing people like that, like I've came across. But anyways, look at this, Moto Lock Secure.